When three boys thought they could humiliate the new girl at lunch, they never imagined that within seconds, the entire cafeteria would fall silent, their pride shattered, and their lives changed forever. What happened that day wasn't just a fight, it was a lesson in respect, strength, and the courage to stand tall, no matter how alone you feel. So before we begin, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and stay till the end, because this story will leave you speechless. It was the first week of the new school year at Ridgeway High. Students were buzzing with gossip, laughter, and the usual chaos of teenage life. But at one corner of the cafeteria, a quiet girl sat alone, unpacking her lunch with calm precision. Her name was Aria Blake, the new transfer student. No one knew much about her. She had recently moved to town after living abroad for years. She spoke little, carried herself with quiet confidence, and her eyes, steady, focused, gave off a strange strength that made some curious and others uncomfortable. 3 boys from the football team noticed her sitting alone. Chase, the loudest of the trio, smirked. "Hey, look at the new girl. Thinks she's too good for us," he said, tossing his apple from hand to hand. His friends, Kyle and Drew, laughed, egging him on. They were known around school for pushing people around, mostly because no one ever pushed back. They swaggered toward her table. Aria didn't look up. She continued eating quietly, her posture straight, her movements controlled, too controlled, almost rehearsed. "Hey, new girl," Chase said, leaning close. "You lost or something? This isn't the nerd section." Aria glanced up, her voice calm. "No. I'm exactly where I need to be." The answer wasn't loud, but it cut sharper than any insult. Chase frowned. The cafeteria noise around them seemed to fade a little. Kyle snickered. "She's got attitude." He grabbed her sandwich, holding it high. "Maybe she needs a little welcome party." A few students nearby whispered, some recording on their phones, typical high school spectators, ready for drama but never for justice. Aria stood up slowly. She wasn't tall, but there was something about her stance, firm, balanced, like someone who knew exactly what she was capable of. "Put it down," she said quietly, "or what?" Chase laughed. "You gonna tell a teacher?" "No," she said. "I'll handle it myself." Before anyone could blink, Chase's hand shot out to shove her shoulder, but Aria moved first. A precise sidestep, a firm grip on his wrist, and in a blur, Chase's arm was twisted behind his back. He stumbled forward, gasping. The lunch tray clattered to the floor. The entire cafeteria froze. Kyle lunged, but Aria pivoted, swept his leg, and he hit the ground hard, his drink spilling across the floor. Drew hesitated, eyes wide, then foolishly charged. In 2 moves, she deflected his grab, hooked his arm, and pushed him backward onto a table, where he sat dazed in humiliated silence. Then, whispers, she just dropped all 3 of them. Where'd she learn that? Aria stepped back, breathing evenly, her expression still calm. "I said, put it down." Chase, wincing from the hold, dropped the sandwich onto the table. The vice principal, who had rushed in after hearing the commotion, demanded an explanation. Before anyone could speak, Aria calmly picked up her backpack and said, "I didn't start it. But I finished it." Later that day, the story spread like wildfire. Videos hit social media within hours, captions reading "New girl destroys bullies" and "Military moves in cafeteria." Everyone wanted to know her secret. That's when people began noticing the small silver tag on her bag, an emblem from the Ravenwood Military Academy, one of the most prestigious and toughest youth training institutions overseas. She had spent 5 years there, training in physical defense, leadership, and discipline. But she never bragged about it, because Aria didn't fight to impress. She fought only when she had to. The next day, Chase and his friends approached her at lunch again, but this time, not to mock her. They looked nervous, embarrassed. "Hey, Aria," Chase muttered, scratching his head. "About yesterday, we were jerks." "I'm sorry." Aria studied him for a moment, then nodded. "It takes strength to admit you're wrong," she said. "Stronger than throwing punches." From then on, something shifted. Chase, Kyle, and Drew, the same boys who used to intimidate others, started standing up against bullying. They even helped a freshman who was being picked on, using the same cafeteria where they once mocked someone else. Aria didn't become the most popular girl, but she earned something better: respect. People began sitting with her, talking to her, learning from her calmness and quiet confidence. Weeks later, during a school assembly, the principal spoke about courage and self-control, using her story as an example. Aria sat quietly in the crowd, slightly embarrassed, but when she looked around and saw people nodding, smiling, and whispering her name with admiration, she realized something: strength isn't about being feared. It's about inspiring change. As the video of that lunchroom incident reached millions online, it carried a message bigger than the fight itself: that sometimes the quietest people carry the loudest lessons. And those who underestimate others often end up learning the hardest way. So if you're watching this right now, remember, true power isn't about hurting someone weaker. It's about having the courage to stand for what's right, even when no one else does. And if you believe more people need to hear stories like this, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs inspiration today, because one story can change a life, and one act of courage can change the world. Dizzy.